I'm back, everyone. I kind of ran out of ideas of what videos to make, so I had a kind of long hiatus of videos not posting. But soon we'll get a lot more content because we're going to Pennsylvania and Hershey, which brings Hershey Park. But today, before that, a quick video before I go to Pennsylvania. The amusement parks aren't just made up of roller coasters. There's food, there's shops, there's entertainment, but most importantly, there's other rides that aren't roller coasters. This includes different flat rides, log rides, water rides, and a bunch of other stuff. So today, I'll give my appreciation to the best non-coaster rides that I've ever been on. Starting off at number 10, we have Utah Falls at Lost Island. This is an interlinked log flume that has a sort of figure 8 layout. It's very slow though. However, the drops make up for it, and you do get pretty wet, which is a nice little feature. Unlike other enthusiasts, I actually don't mind getting wet, and I really do like log flumes, so this one's pretty nice though. At number 9, we had the Congo River Rapids at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I couldn't really find a better off-ride video, so this is what we're just going to have to deal with today. It's a really fun raft ride, nothing really else to say. You get pretty wet on it too. Last time I went on it, I got hit right by the waterfall, which got me really wet. So, yeah. At number 8, we have the Drop Tower, just named Drop Tower at Malibu Jackson, the Quad Cities. This is a great ride to have at this tiny little indoor park. It does take up and down a couple times. You get some good, out of your seat airtime moments somehow from an indoor ride. It's definitely the best ride there. It's a lot better than Twist and Shout, too. But yeah, it's a really nice little drop tower there. At number 7, we have the Serengeti Railroad at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I like railroad rides and parks in general, but this one has to be a lot better just because of its, where it takes you. Others just take you around a park. I know Dollywood takes you out into, a forest. This one takes you through their whole animal, enclosures, the Serengeti Plains, and you get to see all the animals. It's kind of unique to just them. No really other park has something like that, like a train that takes you right up close to the animals, which, I am a really big fan of. The only other way you really can see the animals is a sky ride, which is more, it kind of takes you more through the park rather than the, actual Serengeti Safari or, the Serengeti Plains, which makes the railroad even better for if you just want to see the plains. At number 6, we have Justice League Battle for Metropolis at Six Flags Great America. This is a widely cloned dark ride that's at many of their locations. The one I'm showing you is actually not at Great America, which kind of shows how widely cloned this model, this type of ride, or just this ride is. I don't really care that it's cloned, though. It's still a really solid ride. I mean, it does really help that I'm a fan of the DC stuff, but yeah, I'm still an enjoyer. Also, no matter what kind of dark ride it is, I'm still going to be a big fan of it, because I'm a big fan of those dark ride type rides. But yeah, I don't really care that it's cloned, though, even though it is. It's still a really solid ride. At number 5, we have Amara Aviators at Lost Island. I do have to say, I'm actually a really big fan of these Kurosawa Skyflies. Despite being really hard to flip, this one is still a really solid ride. And before Epic Universe opened, this was actually a really rare ride in the US, only having 2, the other one being at Mall of America. Even though it's rare, despite it being rare, it's still a really decent ride, and I feel like more parks should really get one. The first 2 times I rode it, I did not try to flip, but then the second time I rode it, I did try to flip, and I could not get it to flip, which is very sad. It probably would have been even better flipping, though, so yeah, I don't know. At 4, we have Daredevil Dive at Dollywood. A really solid and drawn-out log flume that's really fun. At first, it has a nice slow layout, and then it has that big drop that feels a lot taller than it actually is. It also gets you pretty wet, no matter if you're on the ride or standing off the ride, which once again, I don't mind. I think I rode it twice the time we were there, and honestly, I really liked it. However, it has the same problem as Utah Falls in that it is really slow throughout most of the layout. Despite that, it's still a really great ride. You shouldn't pass it up next time you're at Dollywood. At number 3, we have the Stanley Falls Flume at Busch Gardens, Tampa. This log flume makes up for what the other 2 lack in pacing throughout the layout. It tears through that layout, surprisingly going pretty fast. The drops don't get you as wet, but I still say it's better because it goes through the layout quicker. And instead of the other 2 having only 1 drop, Lost Island's having 2-ish, this one actually does have multiple drops. And both drops are actually pretty solid, so there's that. At number 2, I have Skyborne, a drop tower at Lost Island. Little history lesson, this actually used to be on top of the stratosphere at Las Vegas. It's made by SNS, and it used to actually sit on top of the stratosphere, and it was like on the very top. It was the tallest thing on the stratosphere. Then they moved it out to Iowa, and it sits here today. This is probably a little bit of a controversial opinion because most people don't really think it's that great, but I still do think it's a great drop tower. It doesn't really give you the same forces that other drop towers do, even though I've only been on 2, and they've both been kind of small, but still, I'm really an enjoyer of the ride. You get some great views of the surrounding area, and it's honestly a great ride. Also, the queue is very immersive, and they actually have a really great story to go along with it. The Odara, or Air people, used to have a floating city, and during the war to fight off Volcano, that came down, and they've actually never been able to make it back to the sky, and this is an attempt to send you back up to the sky. You're kind of the test subject, and it goes wrong, and it comes crashing down. It also has a pre-show, which is very unique in the drop tower. So yeah, honestly, a really great ride that should not be passed up on when visiting the park. And finally, at the number 1 spot, my favorite non-coaster ride in the world, it has to be Volcano Quest for the Golden Idol at Lost Island. This is just such a perfectly executed dark ride. The story goes that the fire monster Volcano is trying to destroy it. They call him a golden idol, it's like golden statue, and they encase him in the bottom of a volcano, but then somebody stole the statue, and you have to go fight to get it back. I guess they had bought this ride a couple years before they had actually opened the park, and they'd been working with the manufacturer for a while before they opened the park to get a dry ride, which is pretty cool. But it is really well executed. Honestly, it'd probably rank in the top 5 of my coasters in like an overall ride list. Some great on-ride effects. The screens are really nice, and the scenes are good. The animatronics work good. Everything's just good. I doubt that any other flat ride could even be better than this, even at a Disney or Universal park. Where do I think this list will stand in a few years? Volcano will probably still be my number 1. However, I am planning on taking a trip to Epic Universe within the next 2 years, so one of those rides might dethrone it. At Hershey Park, Twizzlers Twisted Gravity probably has a shot to be up there, and so does Reese's Cup Fusion, their dark ride there. When I revisit Busch Gardens, probably their drop tower will make it up there, and I think that might be it for them. Overall, this list probably should stay pretty strong in the next couple years. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, it took a little bit of time to record. I just had to do the voiceovers and everything. But yeah, thank you for watching this video and helping support our channel. And like and subscribe if you want more content like this. If I get enough subscribers, I'll probably start making a little bit more long-form content. But I do try to post shorts a lot whenever I get the ideas to. So yeah, and I guess see you next time.